Years had passed, and Hope had grown into a beloved figure in the village, her kindness touching countless lives. Let's dive into the concluding part of the abandoned baby story.
Hope grew up knowing that she was special, not because she was abandoned, but because she was loved by the entire village. And though she never knew who her birth parents were, she found a family in the heart of those who had taken her in. Years turned into decades, and the village flourished under the warmth of Hope's influence. The once quiet hamlet had grown into a vibrant community, known far and wide for its kindness, unity, and resilience. The old church, now a bustling community center, hosted weddings, festivals, and gatherings that brought people together from neighboring villages. Hope's story had become a legend, a tale told to children to remind them of the power of love and the importance of community. Hope, now in her 30s, had become a beloved figure not just in the village but in the surrounding region. Her work as a teacher had inspired countless children, and her efforts to preserve the village's traditions while embracing progress had earned her the respect of both the young and the old. She had married a kind-hearted farmer named Samuel, and together they had 2 children, a spirited boy named Eli and a curious girl named Lila. Hope often told her children the story of how she had been found in the old church, emphasizing the importance of kindness and the strength of their village family. Thomas and Eliza, now in their golden years, lived a peaceful life in their cottage near the community center. Though their hair had turned silver and their steps had slowed, their hearts remained full. They spent their days tending to a small garden, sharing stories with visitors, and doting on their grandchildren, as they affectionately called Hope's children. The bond between Hope and the couple who had found her had only deepened over time, and she often sought their advice, valuing their wisdom and unwavering support. One crisp autumn evening, as the village prepared for its annual harvest festival, a stranger arrived in town. He was a tall, weary-looking man with a weathered face and a satchel slung over his shoulder. His presence stirred curiosity among the villagers, but it was Hope who first approached him. She offered him a warm meal and a place to rest, as was the custom in the village. As they sat by the fire in the community center, the stranger's eyes lingered on Hope. There was a sadness in his gaze, but also a flicker of recognition. After a long silence, he spoke. "You don't remember me, do you?" he asked, his voice trembling. Hope frowned, studying his face. "I'm afraid not. Have we met before?" The man hesitated, then reached into his satchel and pulled out a small, tattered blanket, the very one Hope had been wrapped in when she was found. Her breath caught in her throat as she stared at it. "I'm your father," he said softly. "I've spent years searching for you." The room fell silent. Hope's mind raced as she tried to process his words. Thomas and Eliza, who had been sitting nearby, exchanged worried glances. The stranger continued, his voice heavy with regret. "I was young and foolish when you were born," he explained. "Your mother, she didn't survive childbirth. I was alone, scared, and didn't know what to do. I thought leaving you in the church was the only way to give you a chance at a better life. But I've regretted it every day since." Tears streamed down Hope's face as she listened. She had always wondered about her birth parents, but she had never expected to meet one of them. The villagers gathered around, their hearts heavy with emotion. Thomas stepped forward, placing a hand on Hope's shoulder. "This doesn't change who you are," he said gently. "You've always been our daughter, and this village will always be your home." Eliza nodded, her eyes filled with tears. "But if you want to know him, to understand your past, we'll support you." Hope looked at the man who claimed to be her father, then at Thomas and Eliza, the couple who had raised her with so much love. She realized that her heart was big enough to hold room for both her past and her present. Over the following weeks, Hope spent time getting to know her birth father, learning about her mother and the circumstances that had led to her abandonment. Though the truth was painful, it also brought her a sense of closure. Her father, whose name was Henry, decided to stay in the village, finding work as a carpenter and slowly rebuilding his life. The village embraced Henry, just as they had embraced Hope all those years ago. Thomas and Eliza, though initially wary, came to see him as a kindred spirit, a man who had made mistakes but was trying to make amends. Together, they formed an unlikely family, bound by love and forgiveness. As the years passed, Hope's story continued to inspire. The village thrived, a testament to the power of hope, love, and second chances. And though life was not without its challenges, the people of the village faced them together, knowing that their strength lay in their unity. And so, the legacy of the abandoned baby lived on, not just in Hope, but in her children, her village, and the hearts of all who heard her story. It was a tale of love, resilience, and the enduring power of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light can be found, and that family is not just who you are born to, but who you choose to love. And so, what began as a cold and lonely night turned into a lifelong story of love and unity. Hope's presence reminded the village that even in the darkest moments, kindness and compassion can bring light. The once abandoned church now stood as a symbol of new beginnings, just like the little girl who had been left there that fateful night. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell on my YouTube channel for more heartwarming tales. Your support means the world, and I can't wait to share more stories with you.